to start a company here is like 8 months.
Yeah.
You know, like this is ridiculous. So I get an idea and then I got to sit there twiddling my thumbs like this, you know, for 8 months for somebody to tell me I can make money. You know, in the United States, you want to start a company and you come from Aruba. You don't even live in the United States. You can have a company with a checking account in 2 days.
Wait, I can go to the States and just open an account and start doing business?
Yeah, in 2 days.
All right. Hey, yo, what's up?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Guys, welcome back to another episode of No Filter in Paradise, a show about anything and everything between two. I'm swallowing words.
Okay, wow.
I'm sorry. It's been a hard week.
It's all good.
Between two friends. One is straight and the other
It's absolutely gay.
So, guys, welcome to the show. Today we got a special guest. Y'all already know how it is. It's entertainment, inspiration,
And education.
education. I think today's episode is going to be education. We have a special guest here today. If you ever want to get into real estate and want to learn about real estate, stick through the whole episode because you're about to, get some knowledge today. So, Jay, also known as the
Real estate doctor.
Hey, guys, if you want to follow him on Instagram, just link in description. Go follow this guy. I think every day you post something.
Yeah.
So every single day he posts a reel giving you knowledge as to how to get into real estate, what's happening in the real estate world, yada, yada, yada. Just do yourself a favor. Go follow this guy because I follow him. Shark is about to follow him.
I love this. I'm excited. I'm excited.
So, Jay, for those who don't know who you are, give a brief description as to who you are, what do you do, what have you done?
Okay, well, I'll try to be brief.
Well, 20 years of experience, so.
Yeah, 25. I'm getting old.
Sorry.
I'm getting old. So basically, I'm just a normal guy that I grew up in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in the United States. And I grew up with, blue collar parents. And I was the first one to go to university, as it's called outside the United States. And when I went to university, I worked in an accounting firm. Like I had an internship. And that's when I kind of first saw people that made a lot of money.
Yeah.
And
you're like, what the fuck is this?
Wait, what?
I was definitely blown away. I was like, damn. So it really opened my eyes, and I quickly figured out that being an accountant, you're kind of trading time for dollars.
Yeah.
And I saw a bunch of real estate people who, no offense to us real estate people, we're not like quantum physics, like, brain surgeons.
We're not rocket scientists over here.
Not rocket scientists, making crazy money. And I was like, man, I want to do that. And so I got, I got some like videotapes. I think they were tapes back in the day. I bought somebody. It was Carlton Sheets, this guy in the United States. No money down real estate. And I bought my first rental property when I was 19 years old.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
And, so I said I would make a long story short about...
Keep talking. We got time.
Oh, we got time?
Yeah, we got a little time.
All right. So, well, this was an impactful event because I was 19.
I was about to ask, like, how did you get to eat? Where did you get the funds from?
Yeah. So a common misconception, especially when people do business in the United States, I'm sure you can probably do it in Aruba too, is, you don't need a lot of money to do real estate. There's creative ways to do it with no money, with private lenders, with being creative. You can take over people's mortgages. So that first deal, I took over somebody's mortgage, and I think I paid $1,700,
Okay.
for, at the time it was a house for, I don't know. The prices in the United States are a lot cheaper, but,
100%.
well, it depends where you are. But, I bought this house for like $53,000, but I only spent $1,700 to buy it. And I rented it out, and I was making $200 a month. Which I thought I was like killing it, I was like,
I think anybody at 19 like making 200, like,
He's
yo,
like,
I'm the king.
Look
Yeah.
at me.
Like, yo, dinner's on me, boys. Let's go to fucking Wendy's right now on me.
I got y'all.
well, I had like this mindset that like if I had 20 of them, then I start making real money. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But anyway, the reason why this was an impactful event was, when I was 19, I was still exposed to people I grew up with, and I didn't grow up with, it's not just that people are wealthy. People that have money have a different mindset.
Yeah.
So the people that I grew up with, who I love and who love me, and friends and family, they were telling me like, oh, don't buy that. It's going to be all kinds of problems. You're going to be fixing this. And, and then all these strangers that I did not know that made like millions of dollars were like, oh my God, you have to buy that property. It's going to be.
Yeah.
So I went with the people with money. But I had a problem with the house where one day my tenant called me and she's like, hey, Mr. J, I have there's some feces in the basement,
No.
And I was like, oh, it's your first property. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be Mr. Landlord. I'm going to go and fix it myself.
Oh,
and
no.
So I go and I clean out like her laundry thing and I leave. And then the next day she says, it's still here. And I'm like, so I do it again. And the third day she did that, I'm like, okay, I got to ask like a plumber or somebody. So I didn't even know this could happen. I don't know if it's something that could happen in an Aruba house, but in Philadelphia, they have pipes where the feces come out of the house underground to the street, and they meet the street. And
in the sewers.
Yeah. And that pipe was cracked like 12 feet, 6 feet, something underground. So to fix it, you have to dig up the yard, the sidewalk, and the street with permits and everything. So it's like
all on your cost.
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh my God.
Can I ask what was the bill like?
$6,500.
So that 200 didn't make you feel like, damn, I'm a kid. I am in debt.
Well, this is when everybody that, I grew up with, everything they were saying, I was like, oh man, they're right. I shouldn't do it, And then I was working this accounting firm. I went back to my boss and I'm like, man, what am I going to do? I didn't have $6,500. I was 19,
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you got good credit. You got a credit card, cash advance credit card, pay for the repair. You can write off the repair with your taxes. You'll get like 30% of it back. And then, you assumed somebody's mortgage at a high interest, because I assumed an older mortgage. It was in the 80s, the rates were way higher than they are. People complain now. They were like 17%, So you can refinance the house. And so basically, I borrowed the money from the credit card. I paid the repair. I refinanced the house. And instead of making 200, I started making 450. But I needed that to catch up.
Yeah.
And long story short, like 2 years later, when I was 21, I sold the house for $50,000 more than I bought it for. So that was like the first time I was like,
whoa,
okay,
there's something here.
Yeah. But it was a fork in the road. I could have easily said, nah, man.
Nah, let it go.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was my first experience. That's how I got into it. And then, over 20 years, I've done, 8,000 deals. I've done basically anything you can do in the United States and outside of the United States. And now, I'm kind of slowing down. That's why I'm here in Aruba. And my wife doesn't want me to do as many deals as I was doing. So I used to I was doing 80 deals a month.
I remember when I first met you, I met him actually in Gusto. That's how we met for the first time. And then like, yo, Jay, what are you doing today? Gotta go to Philly. Like literally, at least you were flying like at least every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
At a minimum. Like, I gotta go do this deal real quick. I'm like, damn, bro, you'll never. Yeah, just gotta go get those deals. Gotta get those deals.
So now my wife, we have a deal. I can only do 8 deals a month, which sounds like a lot to some people, but for me is like
A big cut down.
peaceful. And now I coach people. So I help people. With a lot of people have no idea. When I coach people, my number one thing is to open up, like create awareness of the possibilities in real estate. Because most people look at a building, and unless they have the money to buy the building, they don't even pay attention to the building.
No, because they think, I don't have the money, so I'm not gonna even invest time in it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I had the mentality too at some point. And then
I definitely.
Was that?
I definitely have that.
You have it still? Not,
Oh, yeah.
I still have it a little bit, but it started going down more and more because I'm, like I said earlier, this year, I'm getting a loan, building my own house, and the bank's like, once the house is done, or like my architect would tell me, or people around me would tell me, once your house is done, you can, like you said, refinance, buy a new property, fix that up, and then you just keep. It's like, what's that? There's a book called BRRRR, whatever.
Burr.
Burr, yeah.
It's one of my favorite things. Buy,
found pocket, bigger pockets.
Yeah, well, this is a big concept in the United States.
Yeah.
Which is you buy, renovate, rent, refinance, and repeat. So basically, you take your money, you do that, and then you recycle the money and buy another one, and then buy another one, and then buy another one. You know, and I've done this like math on it. You know, you can take $100,000 and with not really too much work, it can be $1 million in property with just a $100,000 investment, just recycling.
Yeah.
So you can 10 times your money in 4 years. So it's really, you need, when you're done working with me, you're like looking at stuff like you're on drugs. You're like, oh my God, you know, like
Real estate
I want to buy
drugs.
that, I want to buy this, I can flip that, you know, and it really is. Once you know what you're doing, it's easy. A good deal, people will give you money.
Yeah.
You know, if you found the best deal here in Aruba, you could call anybody and be like, oh, I'll give you the money for that, or I'll get in on the deal with you with that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the mindset that you need if you want to really succeed in real estate.
Now, for someone, I know you want to jump in first with questions.
That's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, like, for someone who wants to jump into like the real estate world, like, what would be the first thing he or she should do? Like, if you're looking for a smooth and refreshing beer, guys, look no further. Heineken Silver is the way to go. If you haven't tried one yet, go to your nearest mini market, supermarket, whatever. Go to Cash and Carry at Romar. I don't care what you gotta do, but go right now and get your Heineken Silver today because it is extra smooth and extra refreshing. Now back to the show.
Well, you know, everybody's different, but some of the best concepts, and look, yeah, I know we're in Aruba, I live in Aruba, but you know, so I don't know that all these things work here, but I will tell you, you know, one of the best concepts is to buy a home that you are going to live in, and if it's like has other units. So like if it's a 2-unit, a 3-unit, a 4-unit, and you live in one and rent out the other 3, or you live in one and rent out the other one, you can ultimately almost live for free or make money living where you are. And that's a real, you know, in the States, you know, your first house, you only have to put down 3.5%. So, you know, you can go buy a 4-unit building with 3.5% down and you're making money.
Yeah.
You know? So this is the number one first beginner move anywhere, you know. But, you know, look, everybody wants, you know, they have these delusions of grandeur. They want to move into like a mansion on their first deal, you know. But yeah, that's not the deal.
Agree.
You know, you want to live for free.
I agree.
You know?
Me and my girlfriend, we talk about it a lot. Like whatever we do, our first, like once we have our house, if we ever end up like buying another property or we invested in something, our first goal is to like, what can we do to make money that will cover all our expenses? That's what we want. Pays our mortgage, pays electricity, pays our water, maybe some extra groceries. Like that's our first goal. And then once we have that cleared off, and like, cool, what can we do next to start, you know, making profit? Because we both have our jobs. If we can find someone to pay all our expenses, every income that we make is like 100% for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's really simple. I mean, look,
when you say it, but then when you actually do it, I'm like,
Oh, you just
yeah,
do-
you know,
just
we all
start.
try to keep up. You know, in the U.S. we say keep up with the Joneses. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
like
know
you know,
that.
you really when you get in. I'm 45. When you get in your 40s, you're tired of keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly.
You know,
I'm almost there.
and you're like, nah, is it really worth it to make that extra? Not really, because you're giving away your life.
Yeah.
You're really giving away your life. And then when you have kids, you know, you want to spend time with your kids, you want to enjoy yourself, you know, so yeah, that's what I would say is the number one thing. The number two thing is, you know, you should get into, you got to buy property, period, end of story, because, you know, all the money in the world is BS. And people, they just, I don't know how much people know, but like, you know, they just print more money.
Yeah.
They say, oh, you know, well, we need more money. They don't, it's not like these governments have the money. They just print more.
Yeah.
So when they print more, they devalue the existing money that you have. Now, what's nice about real estate is it goes up when they do that, and rents go up when they do that. So you don't lose, if your money's tied up in real estate, you don't lose that value. Now, it's not as liquid as it would be in the bank, but really when they print money, they don't hurt rich people. Rich people have assets, and assets get inflated when they print money. But they don't also, it's hard to hurt poor people because poor people don't have too much cash. It's the middle class people that are savers, they get smoked. You know, like if you just look at, I'm sure in Aruba, look at how much you would buy a house for before COVID, and now look how much you buy a house for now.
Yeah.
It's not because it went up in value. It's because there was so much money printed all over the world, they stole your money.
Yeah.
You know, so how do you defend against that? one way is to buy property. And like literally when that inflation was happening, and I was like, okay, this is great because I own tons of property.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm not saying I like it, but it's like, hey, time to raise the rents.
That's yours,
too, you know?
yeah.
You know,
If you
so
don't mind me asking, like, how many properties do you own? Like, because do you own any in Aruba? And
I own the one that we live in Aruba. Aruba's hard, you know. I love Aruba to live in, and Aruba has. There's things I like about it, like it's chill, it's laid back. But then there's things I don't like about it, like it's chill, it's laid back.
Yeah, uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So
I know exactly what you mean.
To start a company here is like 8 months.
yeah,
You know, like this is ridiculous. So I get an idea, and then I got to sit there twiddling my thumbs like this, you know, for 8 months for somebody to tell me I can make money. You know, in the United States, you want to start a company, and you come from Aruba. You don't even live in the United States. You can have a company with a checking account in 2 days.
Wait, I can go to the States and just open an account and start doing business?
Yeah, in 2 days. In
Look
2
at-
days.
Why are you looking at me like I'm stupid? Like you're like,
No, it's possible.
but I thought you had to go like to a process. Maybe you have to be a citizen or. What do you just
The
tell
United States will take anybody's money from anywhere.
for
just go and start LLC and then done?
You can start an LLC. I mean, I can have one for you tomorrow. Tomorrow. To open a bank account, you have to physically fly there. But hey, go hang out in Miami. You know what I mean? Open a bank account. You
that's
know?
what most of like people I know. That's what they do. They have like U.S. credit cards and all this good
Yeah.
stuff.
God damn. Tori, we're gonna open a bank account in America, just so you know. That's my girlfriend, by the way.
Oh wait.
She's from Connecticut. But she also, just like you.
Well, then she should have.
I tell everybody at the bar, like, you want to live the American dream? Find a way to work remote and move to Aruba. That's the real American dream.
That is the American dream. So
Yeah.
you know, so for Aruba, and then the other, you know, it's just too slow. And then you know, I don't know. I feel like every drug cartel in South America must have been putting their money through Aruba because to just do a deal in Aruba, they ask you more stuff than the CIA would ask me in the United States if I was under investigation. You know, so
They want all your business.
it's insane. So it's very difficult to do deals there. But to answer your question, I have 1,200 rentals around.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I have-
Oh, sorry. My brain went 12,000. Sorry. Wait.
that was your original question.
Yeah, 1,200.
I have around 1,200 something or a little, something like that.
Like mostly in the U.S., I assume.
Mostly in the U.S. because it's easier to do business there. You
Yeah.
know, and you know it's easy. It's easy to make money. Look, the States has negatives too. Like we are on a
100%.
grind, and you know they don't chill and they don't enjoy the beach and they don't, you know. But if you want to make money, there's no better place than the United States. You know,
I agree.
So-
I do agree.
That's big facts.
And what do you think about do you think Aruba's like housing prices are extremely overpriced right now? Because I was like, we're building a house and we have an idea. Well, actually today we're supposed to find out exactly how much the quotation would be. But at the same time, I will look around. Oh, guys, brand new property, $538,000 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I'm like, bro, you know what can build with that money? Like you can build a 3-4 bedroom house with 3.5 bathrooms in the pool. But you know, like, do you think Aruba's like current like prices are way too high?
Nah, I really don't. I mean,
Oh shit.
you
Depends
know,
where the location is.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
I mean, look, you have to. Aruba is. I always explain this to like compared to Miami.
Yeah.
it's super cheap.
That's true.
You know what I
Depends
mean?
where you're coming from, who you ask.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so if you grew up here in Aruba, yeah, you probably think the prices are high. But if I grew up in Miami, I would think the prices are high too. Prices of real estate go up, and inflation, et cetera, et cetera. And just think about it though, Aruba also, you know, you have to bring everything here. You know, it costs more. You know, and it's not like you guys have everybody and their mother that wants to work here too. So to get somebody to, you know, again, I like Aruba because people are chill. Nobody's like really needing.
Yeah.
But man, you can't get anybody to work either. You know. So you know,
Well, yeah.
in the U.S., it's cheaper labor. It's, you know, so. But that being said, it's still more money in the United States than here. So being an American, this is not expensive. But you're looking at what maybe not American, but what a foreigner is going to come and pay. It's a different concept for them than it is for somebody that grew up in Aruba or lives in Aruba. But for Americans, it's cheap. But yeah, look, it's gone up a lot in the last 3 years. But everything around the
Something
world.
about like if you go like how, because I try to see how far can your money go, right? Like for example, like I said, like, oh, for $500,000, you can get this many bedrooms, blah, blah, blah. But then they want to charge you $4.5, $450 for a 2-bedroom condo. But then if you go to Texas, for $350, you'll get a mansion, 8-bedroom, 4-car garage, 4-car garage. So that's why I was wondering, like, do you think like it was very expensive in Aruba?
Well, do you want to? First off, when you go to Texas, this is not in Dallas.
Yeah.
This is in like some farm town where they're
some
drilling.
compound, like somewhere far
Somebody's drilling for oil with his own little rig. So if you want to live there, yeah, you can be pimped out for $350,000.
I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. So it's.
I'm good with the
The
people.
location
He
is
said,
everything.
he said it right. Location.
Yeah.
Location is- I watch a lot of real estate stuff. That's why. So
Yeah.
Okay, wait. When you say you watch real, you like selling Sunset on Netflix?
yes, I watch all of those things.
Do you
I
watch
mean,
their shows?
they're entertaining, but they
They
also
are
give a lot of
entertaining.
knowledge.
They are entertaining, and they're good. They're good if you want to learn how to sell too. I mean, just things you can learn from them, but they're not. That's not what I do. I'm an
I
investor.
get it. That's why
Yeah.
I'm here to understand this.
Yeah.
But I understand certain things, and a lot of the times they tell you, like, based off of locations, you get some people that are like easy buyer. Like, I got buyers for this because the location sells for itself.
Correct.
Schools are around the area. They have this, and they have families. You have to know who your sellers are, and they just go based off of that. But if your location is like, oh, okay, like it's like all the way in the back there. There's no view. There's no. Just decreases the value a little bit.
I agree.
That's 100% right. There you
Sorry.
go. We'll interview.
No, I'm sorry. You
We're
got
going to
some
interview you now.
No. I'm here to learn.
but you said you had
But
a
like,
question. That's
Yeah,
all.
so I want to know from you, how important is now, like this day and age, social media to incorporate in what you're doing?
Well, look, I'm really new to it. And like I said, I'm 45, so that's like a dinosaur. Because I wish I grew up 15 years younger because I missed a lot of it. I could have 10 years with me on Instagram
You would have been-
or whatever. I would have been making paper like this.
Crazy.
I just got on in December. And I have 50,000 followers, and I'm like, man, in 10 years I would have 5 million followers. And that in itself, you can talk to more people by picking up your phone and going like this all over the world than you guys are younger, but like, man, 20 years ago to have something, but 1,000 people look at something, you had to pay money for that. You had to send them mail. You had to get an email list. It was insane. So it's really changed the world. And if you're not now on social, you really aren't living up to your potential, and I'm just touching that,
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Do you think, because speaking of social, do you think there's a lot of people out there right now that probably, I'd say, probably half your age and then doing social media, but then have no fucking knowledge on real estate? Do you think that's a fact thing?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started getting into it, my buddy was like, listen, there's all kinds of fake people on there. If you come and just, you got 25 years experience and just drop the knowledge, man, you're going to have all kinds of followers. And I was like, honestly, I don't even know.
I don't fucking know what it is.
I didn't have Instagram,
Yeah.
But I will tell you, because I coach and I talk to people, a lot of people don't know what they're doing. And so I really like that, when I'm saying something, people haven't heard it before. Or I say it in a way that is connects to them.
It's relatable, yeah.
Yeah, is different than, somebody else saying the same thing. You know what I mean? So for me, I think it's super powerful. I'm really grateful to be in it. And I hope it, continues to, be positive. There's obviously negatives to it.
Of course.
You
know
but-
what I think makes it easy for you is your vibes also gives off like what you said in the beginning. I think because you didn't come from like poor, but you also didn't come from like very richness. Like you were right there and you kind of understand like how like, oh, this is a steal or this is not a, like, don't settle for that.
Yep.
And that's like a vibe that I kind of get from you. And like, I just fucking met you a while ago.
Well, thank you.
But that's what I get. I don't get like, oh no, this is like some snobby rich
no.
guy that's
No.
just gonna be like, nah, I know exactly what. Nah. And you're not trying to like oversell something. It's just legit. You're just giving knowledge. I'm just having a conversation. I'm telling you, like,
My wife will tell you I just like people too much. But listen, I love people, man. I'll sit here and talk to you guys all day, And I really, I've never done, like, now that I'm coaching, I've never felt more satisfied than the coaching. I mean, I pray in the morning, I pray at night. When I pray in the morning,
Amen.
I say, to the Lord, I want to be a vessel of service today. And I got to tell you, ever since I started doing that, man, it's really been
You better
coming to
fucking
me.
speak facts right there. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, but when I was just doing deals, you're not a vessel of anybody's service. It's like you're trying to
You're hustling
making
for
money.
you, yeah.
Yeah, this is different. When I coach somebody, I'm not doing the deal. I'm helping them do it, and see somebody, with their eyes like, oh my God, I can do that. And the other thing when I coach people, I say I don't just coach about real estate. I hear limiting beliefs.
Yep.
People, I could teach you everything to do in real estate, and then you have something in the back of your head, and I don't say you or you, everybody does. I'm not good enough. It comes all the way back from
100%.
We talk about it a lot on the show sometimes. I have that voice 1,000%.
Too much, and that pisses me off.
My problem is that, like, I would do things, but then I always tell myself, you could do better. Like, this could be done better. That was not good. Do it better next time. So it's like, for me, it's like I'm never satisfied with almost anything that I do.
First off, that's how you progress in life. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'll tell you something that I have sons, 7 and 5 years old, and my 7-year-old was just talking. They were playing John Madden football, and my 5-year-old keeps getting beat. And my 7-year-old turned to him and said, "Listen, the only way you're going to get better is you make mistakes and you keep losing." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh my God." I gave that to him, you know what I mean? And he absorbed it, Like, for that, a lot of people are afraid to make mistakes, but mistakes are the best gift you're ever going to get in your life, because it's like, boom, that don't work.
It.
Now you learn.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Yeah, because sometimes people tell me, like, oh, Samuel, you shouldn't do this because X, Y, Z. I'm like, I know I should listen to you, but if I don't emotionally and physically go through that situation, I will never understand why you told me not to do it. Sometimes I purposely, you tell me, Samuel, don't make a right turn, you're going to crash your car. Bah, fuck Jay, that's right. But then I know, like, I'm gonna listen to Jay more
That's
often.
kind of wrong, though.
It was obviously a bad fucking example, but you know what I mean? It's like.
But in that sense,
I get what you're saying. Like, I get, like, I'm not, but, like, I don't fully understand. So let me just go through the process a little bit. Like, let me just dip my toe a little bit in it. And I'm like, nah.
you don't dip your toe, though. You just open the blind and run. Like, okay, let me see.
Just dive head first.
No, like, they gave you the warning sign for a reason. It's like a cheat
know,
sheet.
I
That's
know.
what your people are. Like, you're supposed to use them as that. Like, okay, you didn't done all of that. Okay, tell me what not to do. All right.
But at the same time, like.
But you're going to take whatever they're saying. It's not saying, okay, don't do it at all. They're just saying be cautious when you do it, and do something similar to it, not to make the same exact mistakes.
I thought you were saying, Sam, don't do this because of X, Y, Z. But then I tell myself, because then it goes to the part of, like, yeah, but if you tell me to do this because you can't do it, doesn't mean that I can't do it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a limited belief. Like, people tell you, Samuel, you can't score a 3. Probably can. But, like, fuck it, that's you telling me that you can. Maybe I can. Let me fucking try it. So that's why it's always like I'm pulling on both ends on the situation. So I would rather, like, let me just dip my toe into it, see if maybe I can do it just because you didn't do it, maybe,
No, I mean, first
not
off,
bad.
you got to pay attention to who you're taking advice from.
Exactly.
Jay, that's why you're here.
Yeah. The problem is
Don't send me an invoice, okay?
9 times out of 10, the people that are telling you not to do something never did it
They
themselves.
never tried it.
I mean,
Exactly.
I'll tell you, like, you guys were having a conversation about the people in the studio went to Jerusalem, right? I've been to Israel like a million times, right? And my sister, oh my God, how dangerous. Da-da. I'm like, have you ever been to Jerusalem? No. Like, then you can't tell me, like,
How dangerous it is.
But in life, there's a ton of people who have an opinion about stuff they never, ever experienced. And I'm not going to listen to that kind of, talking. But, but I do agree with you. The best way to learn, you should, not just jump in the deep end.
That's why I said dip your toes.
Yeah, but the best way to learn is that you're never going to forget when you actually do something and emotionally have emotional attachment to, like, oh my God, man,
You'll never do it again.
Yeah, you'll do it a different way. But so but limiting beliefs is like a big problem. Well, it's not big. Everybody. I have limiting beliefs. We all have limiting beliefs. but I can hear it when I'm talking to somebody.
You know.
As soon as they're talking to me, and I'm like, oh my God. And, so you have to work those out. People don't know how powerful they are.
Mind.
Somebody told them when they were, younger, and people, and they live with this story, and they keep telling themselves the same old story that they're never going to be successful because in their mind, everybody and their mother told them that they sucked.
It's not possible for you.
Yeah. So, you got to work on those things. So that's a big thing that I work on. I would say it's not a big thing. It's 25% of what I work on when I'm working, because otherwise it's a waste of money to pay me as a coach, because I'm going to teach you what to do, and then you're going to be completely afraid to do it all.
So speaking of like your coaching, like what does like how does coaching go? So people just reach out to you. Do they pay a certain fee and then they get like, what is the coaching like?
Yeah, so
what do you get with that?
because it's well, I do mostly real estate coaching, but then I have some that I'm just doing life coaching, which actually I enjoy better.
It's more personal.
But the real estate stuff, because real estate is transactional, I have like different packages, where you can get 3 sessions with me where we can talk about something specific. You want to buy a property this way, and then I have like 3 6-month coaching where I'm going to spend a lot more time with you. I'm going to teach you everything about real estate. I'm going to work on your limiting beliefs. I'm going to put you in my network, So that's like a bigger type of coaching.
So you give people can they come to you to get like a real estate license, or
no?
They can kind of get like certain practices to then go and study and then get that.
So what I do is, I'll give anybody one free session with me. So I'll sit with you for an hour, and the most important thing I need to know is, what are your goals, right? And I just had a post about that. I could not believe, how many times I ask people, what are your goals? And nobody knows. So how can you, like you guys, we all have GPS on our phone, right? Yeah. Well, how are you going to get from one part of the island to another part if you don't know the address you're supposed to go to? Or here, you got to share the location.
Yeah,
but but in most places,
I love how local you are. Here you got to set the location.
Address doesn't mean anything, So, when I first came here, it was like 16142.
No,
I'm like, okay, this is confusing. But you can't get anywhere unless you're aiming somewhere. And right off the bat, I have to work on people. They don't have any goals. So it's like, and then they give me some BS goal. This is all. I wanna have 10 properties and passive income. Okay.
How?
No, not how.
Not how.
Why?
Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Listen, I can give you 10 properties and passive income, and you can lose money.
Yeah.
Right. So really, in real estate, it's like, well, how much money do you want to make? I want to make $5,000 per month. Thank you. Okay. Now I can work with something. Okay. And then, okay, how much money are you working with? And some people, it's zero. Some people have some. Some people don't realize they have some, because, it's not just money. It's your access to credit. It's access to other people's money, this, that, and the other thing. So then when I figure out what their goals are, I say, well, listen, if I would do this strategy, and then I let them talk, and, then I'll start hearing, well, I gave them like, here, this is how you get there. And then they start telling me why it won't work, and it's because they have limiting beliefs, So anyway, I will give anybody a free session and do that. And some people are, a fit. I also don't want to coach anybody that doesn't want to do anything.
Correct.
Like if you want to work with me, I want to see that you are going to do something.
In the work, yeah.
I don't need your money. I don't need you to pay me money to just be like, here's some information. I want to see you. I want to be excited for you when you make something happen. So so that's how it works. But it's super fun. But goals, man. Write them down, people. Write them down.
Yo.
I do. Though, in my bathroom. My bathrooms are tiles, so I got like marker, like whiteboard markers. Every time I go take a piss, I'm like reading. Okay, good.
And this is why you're making things happen.
Yeah.
That's why you make things happen.
Just keep reading
because you got to look at it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a thing. It's called an intention journal, and it's like a 90-day journal where you write down the 3 most important things you need to accomplish in the next 90 days. And every day you rewrite it and you write, what do I need to do today to move
get
this
to that.
forward just a little bit? And then at the end of the day, the most important thing is to go back and you got to be accountable. Did I do what I need?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Didn't I give you like a similar book? I think I give him. I think I give it to
Give
you.
me a reminder.
A daily reminder. I think I give you like a 6-month like planner. Like you just write down your shit every week. Do you like? I think people. I don't know about Aruba. I think Aruba has a big issue. I've had, sometimes still do, have like the whole journaling thing and writing it down. The whole, what do you call it? Power, like law of attraction situation. It's like, what are your thoughts? Because I think people have have a disbelief of that doesn't really work.
Of
right?
the law of attraction and the secret.
I want $1 million. I want $1 million. Like, you know, people have the misconception like just because you think about it, it's not gonna happen. You gotta think about it and then put action into what you're thinking. Otherwise, you're never gonna achieve what the fuck you're thinking. Does that make any sense?
It does. I think big part of it is also what he said. I'm gonna let you answer. Sorry, but it's like faith. Like if you don't have faith, I feel like you're not going anywhere either. Like you need to find that thing that motivates you, that
fire.
you just talk to, and you just like give all of your it into that thing, and then that thing is just gonna answer you back and tell you like, hey, look, this is where you need to start going, or like this is where you need to add that energy and that focus. But sorry, you can just
No, I'm going to answer that question, but I love that you said faith. So what, in one sentence, what do you think faith is? It's not a trick question.
To me, faith is like a higher power that I just believe in. It can be like the universe or whatever. I don't know. However, everybody else sees it. To me, it's God. But faith is just having that thing that you believe in, and you can like share whatever you need to share it to. Like just let you're purest. Like that thing knows your deepest and darkest secrets. So like nothing you can see can get judged by it.
The reason I say that is because doubt, everybody has doubts, is just negative faith. It's faith back. It's faith. I believe so much that I can't do it that I doubt myself. It's faith backwards.
Yep.
You know? So why is it okay to have faith that, hey, I can do things? But, you know, people with this other faith, they believe so much they can't do anything. They have faith. They're just putting the faith in the wrong direction. You know what I mean? So, you know, when I thought about it like that, and I heard it from somebody, I'm not stealing that. I'm not taking it. But it was really powerful. It's really powerful for me. But the law of attraction, which is, you know, came from, you know, most people heard of it from The Secret. I think she did another book called The Greatest Secret, which I think is even better. It was a fad and everybody loved it, and now everybody like is hating on it. I feel like everybody, you know, but first off, it does work, but you need to know how to work it. So what you said is right. You know, you need to, you know, first off, you have to know what you want to attract. And, you know, you have to put, you know, emotion behind these things, you know? Correct. And the biggest thing is you have to make it a habit. So, you know, it's easy for us all, hey, we're sitting here and we're doing this, you know, little podcast thing and we're all talking law of attraction, you know, and then you go out and somebody gives you the middle finger and this and that, and then you're out of it, you know? And you got to have a routine that brings you back and makes a habit of these things every day. And even when you do, and trust me, I have like a routine. People can still bring you out of it. Nobody's perfect. But, you know, if you make a routine of it, nobody's going to waver me from what it is that I believe that I can do. And a big mistake that people make is people think that they have to do something in order to have something, in order to be somebody, right?
Wait, repeat that again.
People want you to tell them, what do I do so that I can have, so I can be the person I want to be?
Okay.
This is how everybody thinks.
Instead of, why don't you become the person you want? Okay, sorry, continue.
No, but you're right. The number one thing you need to do is you need to be that person now.
Yeah.
You know, when you become that person now, you will do the things that person needs to do.
Exactly.
And you will automatically have those things.
That's what I read in a book. They're like, you need to become the person that you admire, that you look up to. Like you need to, you're looking up to somebody that does great stuff for the community and they do this and that's who you need to become. You need to start doing all of these methods that you become that person that everybody looks up to and they're like, yo, like you're doing the damn thing. Like Mr. J.
But you gotta feel it.
You have to feel it. It needs to be in you. It needs to be something you passionate about. If you're not passionate about it, just let it go. Like,
And just, while I'm ranting about these things,
No, please go ahead. Cause like sometimes you just win like, no, but you gotta. I'm like, cause I'm Tony Robbins shit going on over here. Like I'm in a church and the fucking preacher's going crazy.
no, it's passion.
well,
It is.
I think people make a lot of mistakes too with they're trying to make small little changes in their life, and that doesn't work, right?
Can you give an example as to what's
You go to everybody New Year's, it says I'm going to the gym, right?
I actually do.
Well, the gym's packed in January and March. There's nobody at the gym,
True.
right? So this happens every year. But with anything, somebody says, listen, just do a little change, right? Every day and you'll be better. No, you won't. You will regress back to the mean. There's a line here. You go like this, you come back. You go because you don't think you're worth up here. Because you're slowly if you want to make a breakthrough in your life, a real change in your life, you need to jump into the future, be that MFer now.
You can curse if you want.
This little, I might end up on my social. I shouldn't be doing that. This like incremental stuff is for rookies. You're just going to be out of the gym in March. A real person goes to the future, not a real person. Somebody really wants to take action, massive action. You go to the future, you go to your future self, and you be that person right now. So if you want to be the best podcast guy, whatever, you got to do what the best are doing now. You got to tell everybody,
sir,
this is what I am. This is what I do. This is, don't tell them
say it. Say it.
Yeah, it's the truth.
The moment he said, I knew he was going to point at me.
No, don't tell me some story about what you used to do and why you're trying to do this. That's irrelevant. You need to be who you want to be now.
Thank you, Mr. J.
You're welcome.
Good question.
And I didn't know there was some kind of thing going on.
No, because I've been like that's why a while ago he was talking
guy
about
reads
like
one book and he thinks
his
he's fucking-
inner saboteur and like he keeps like he's like if he does something great and you give him a compliment, he's like no, but I can't.
Shut
the fuck up, accept the damn compliment. Like you did great, like go into it, like celebrate
have
it.
that free session you were talking about. We can have it like one day somewhere else.
No, it's crazy.
Because for me it goes like deeper. It goes like it's family, it's emotion, like. It's a more emotional bullshit in my end of the family.
It's getting in the way of your growth.
Trust me, I know.
Okay, but this is a story you're telling yourself.
Thank you.
This is a story you're telling
It's
yourself.
an excuse.
How do I overcome it then?
Well, listen, I don't know the whole situation, but man, you just said something that I was really going to go on. But I will tell you that, and we all have stories.
Yeah.
But if you want to, whatever got you to where you are right now, will not get you to the next level. You need to take where you're at now because you're in a ceiling.
Yeah.
And you need to throw it down. It needs to be the floor.
Thank you.
And if you want to take it to the next level, you have to do different things. You have to be.
Thank you.
All you got to do is be that person.
Thank you.
Put a flag in the ground.
Thank you.
And I'm the best podcaster, whatever you want to be.
you.
Dude,
That's
we
what I
are
am.
Aruba's favorite podcast. That's a fact.
Okay. But that's
Stop limiting to Aruba.
and
Let's
that's
go.
And that's what you should
Now
be
we're
talking
going. We
about.
put a poll. Then we're going to the next fucking poll.
Yeah. But this is what you should be talking, breathing, thinking. That's
Thank
it.
you.
That's all I am.
Thank you.
Peter, I'm handing him a resignation next
No.
week. Why did you quit? Talk to Jay. He motivated me to fucking.
No.
Hey man, I'm just I had nothing to do with it.
Once you believe in your product, people are gonna believe in it too. Like if
1000%.
that's just how you sell it. Like, look, I'm the best. It is what it is. You want it or you don't want it. You want shark or you don't want shark. Like it's up to you. But I know what the quality is.
Yeah.
I know what you're gonna get. Come on. You let me know. But I'm not budging. This is it. Like, and you're gonna get the clientele for it. But you can't doubt yourself. Fuck that. Not you.
I'm gonna take that little session you talked about.
Okay.
I'm like, yo, let me invite you for some lunch. You're gonna. That's gonna be my
I'm
payment.
glad to help. That's what I like to do. That's why I said I'll sit and talk all day.
So what made you want to go into coaching?
His wife.
It's a good question. Nah.
Because to be honest, like I'm not even gonna lie, I'm slightly fired up right now, and I'm like, this motherfucker's right.
No, well, I have a mastermind group, like a men's mastermind
Oh,
group.
dope.
Oh.
And we created it from scratch, and we go every 3 times a year. We go somewhere. Aruba, we do the annual one, and we rent a house together, and we bring in national and international speakers, coaches, this, that, and the other thing. And we say you can't come and be fed. You got to feed too. So I have to speak. I have to do a presentation.
Everybody has to bring value.
Everybody has to bring value. And so we had one where one of the guys was like, "Listen, I went to this this event and it was an experience, and I want to bring a guy to our next mastermind, and he's $10,000 for, I think, a day, something, right? But there's like 9 of us, and we're all, we all, have been impacted by this type of, education and mindfulness and stuff. So we're like, yeah, all right, fine, bring him, right? Now the guy comes and he's like some New York and I'm from Philadelphia. We don't, we have like, like the redheaded stepchild, like of New York.
Yeah, you
like
are.
We got to think.
Jersey and everything else.
We got to
like,
think. So
Philly.
we got this like, New Yorker, and I'm like, man, I paid some New Yorker $10,000 to come here and talk to me, and he's talking all kinds of stuff, like a big game, and he the next day he comes the night before, perhaps listen, the next day he's like sitting here, and I'm like, when I grew up, we used to watch like Oprah Winfrey and all these shows, and somebody come on and they cry and they complain about what happened to them when they were a child, and I'm like, yeah, this guy is like, I was in 5 minutes crying, like the guy is and I hired him as a coach. He's my coach now to this day, and he's big money, 6-figure coach a year, and this guy. And that particular mastermind that we did, like, changed my life. And I told him after that, I said, man, I want to hire you as a coach, and I want you to teach me how to be a coach. And he was like, he only has like 8 clients, and he's the go-to coach for the NBA, for the basketball, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm not really a basketball player either. So he's like, but I said, listen, I chased him the whole next. Now I had no idea how much money he was, so I chased him for like a week. I said, I'm going to send you an email and call you every day until you take me as a client. And first off, that's how high performing people do. If I want something, you
have to go and get
end
it.
of story. So finally he talks to me and he said, listen, man, I really do like that you really are aggressive and you want to learn and blah, blah, blah. And he said, okay, it's 6 figures, wire me by Tuesday, then we'll set it in the calendar. And I was like, 6 figures, listen, I don't care how much money you have. When somebody says, yo, you got, wire me 6 figures.
The quality.
And you work, and I'm thinking, nah, he can't be that much. But anyway, so I sat there and I was like, how am I going to explain this to my wife?
Like, babe, the next 2 years, no vacation.
Hey, girl.
But I will tell you. So I eventually hired him, and my wife was, my wife had noticed that I'd completely changed, and she saw the value in it, and I thought that I was going to have him teach me to be a coach, but man, he worked on me I was so messed up. Yeah. Like, you don't know how messed up you are, and he worked on me for like a year. And then it's kind of like life happens, I was like, hey, I'm tired of working so hard and doing so many deals. I think I'm going to slow down, let me get into the coaching. And then I really didn't, it didn't really need to be coached because I was coached.
You already had them, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I felt like when I'm saying some of this stuff to you, I got it smacked in my face, and it really made an impact on me. So now that's why. So that's why, like, if I'm life coaching somebody or a day, whatever you want to call that, man, it's amazing because I really feel it because it's impacted my life.
And you've also have a passion for it. Like, even the way you're talking right now, I'm like, you're fucking passionate.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
So how do you, based off of what do you give like your pricing for a coaching session?
Well, I mean, my prices are my prices, and I have a website, and somebody can check them out. And I'm happy to do a complimentary call with somebody, a free call with somebody. And listen, if somebody can't stroke a check in 2 days, like I was asked to do, I'll take payments and this. Like, I want to help people. You know what I mean? So, and there are instances where like I've taken on somebody for free. You got to give back too. You can't do everything for money, and really, I'm not I'm not doing this for the money. You know, do I need to be paid for my time? Absolutely. Hey, I got bills too. You know, but I really, really enjoyed, and I've never gotten such satisfaction in my life from doing anything else. You know.
Now, sorry, I want to switch it up like to the real estate thing because, like I
But
said,
before you continue, so people know, what's the name of the website? People can find out your information.
I think just follow me on Instagram.
we'll add it.
Yeah, we'll add it.
Go over here.
We'll
Just
add
link in the
it.
description.
But
The Real
thank
Estate
you.
Doctor. He probably has a link in the description. Click that, and you'll go somewhere.
I'm not very good at selling.
That part. It's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
new. It's still new.
I'm already sold.
Yeah.
Okay, so like because I do watch a lot of real estate shows and stuff like this, commissions, like taking it back to like your thing. What was like the biggest commission you've made off of real estate?
So I'm not a real estate agent, so I don't make commission. I'm an investor. But the biggest deal that I ever made on one deal, $2 million. But that's not even the best story.
Please enlighten us. I want to hear this best story.
Yeah. Those, that takes time.
Of course.
I'm going to tell you how I made magic in a day. So there's a thing you can do, and I'm sure you can probably do it here, which is called assign a contract. Did you ever hear of this?
No.
Okay, so where I say that some people think that you got to have money to buy a house. When I was younger, I educated myself that you really don't. So what you can do is you can go, if you're selling your house and you agree to sell me your house, I put it under contract with you. But I don't need the money. I can sell this piece of paper to him for more money. So I just need to find somebody that will take it. I got a good deal, and I just sell it to you. So I remember the exact. This is like one of my favorite stories. So and I was younger too. I was like 25 or something, And I found a deal. I found a deal, and it was close to like a university, but it was not the best block. And I put a house under contract for $24,000, which in itself is, for most people, it sounds like crazy, but anyway, it was on like a block, but it was kind of close to a university. But I saw development. I was like, let me just put it under contract. What do I got to lose? Because really you can only lose your deposit. And, I'm putting a $100 deposit at the title company, right? Or you guys would call it the notary. We use title.
Please don't.
So here it's expensive. It's like $4,000 probably.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you can do it. You can do it anyway. So I put it under contract. I go to a real estate meeting that night. Now, before I go to the real estate meeting, I start looking at. I put it under contract. I wasn't really sure how much it was worth, but I knew it was worth more than that. I'm like, man, maybe I can sell this for $40,000. Whatever. So I looked at it. I'm like, man, they're selling stuff for like $150. All kinds of crazy money. So I'm like, man,
oh shit,
I'm gonna put this for like an even $100,000, right? So I put it up for sale for $123. When I say I put it up for sale, I put it on like a little flyer at a real estate meeting, And I said, hey, I got this house, for $123,000. I had 3 people wanted it that night. One person signed a contract to buy it for me. I made $100,000. And I didn't get paid till they closed, but I made $100,000 in less than 24 hours.
Crazy.
By selling a piece of paper. Yeah. It's insane.
It's crazy they don't teach these things in school,
Of course.
Have you ever thought about starting
Terrible.
another idea for you?
The system is made that way.
Have you ever thought about, maybe because you don't know how laws or whatever work in Aruba? What if you work with someone that you can sell like some sort of real estate course here?
Well, I would just do everything online anyway, but
True. That's a good point.
yeah, but look, the whole education system is ridiculous. You start. I'm not one of these like conspiracy people, but you start to wonder when you get older, like, really, why are they not teaching people about money?
Yeah,
they're not
It's gotta
supposed
be.
to.
At least teach you about how to handle your
system.
taxes, because even I'm now learning about because my business and everything now. My aunt's helping me because she's like an administrator, whatever. She does taxes and stuff. So she's like, help. So if you pay your taxes, tomorrow's the deadline. What are you talking about?
Before the 15th.
Yeah.
Now, that they should teach you because they should want your money.
No, but
They want it because when you don't pay, you have the back taxes that they make a lot more money because now
they
they go
fine
collecting everybody's house. Like, you owe back tax. You have something to
Yeah.
take for it now?
Aruba-
No? Well, then, okay. We're taking stuff.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So for them, if you don't pay, better for them.
And I heard in Aruba, like the whole tax thing is like 5 years behind.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, they're like, we're currently in 2023. They're still counting maybe 2019 taxes.
Yeah.
Even in the United States, IRS is understaffed. They,
No,
they're-
it's very expensive here.
yeah.
But that's a system. They don't want you. They're not supposed to teach you how to be
That's
that
crazy.
top percentage of people that is financially free.
I remember my accounting teacher. I never liked accounting at all. Ugh, I will never
Nobody
use
does.
this. As I got older and now I have the business and I I try to keep track of my expenses and the liability. I look back, I'm like, I wish I paid a little bit extra.
That's what my degree's in it, and I use it every single day. I mean, I'm not an accountant, but use it every single day.
Yeah,
It is a very practical.
it is.
It's the most
Degree.
important.
Yeah.
For
I
a
paid more
business.
attention in history class than I did in fucking accounting. I just didn't like numbers. So I was like, ugh, I
Nope.
just
A lot of
snap.
people don't, honestly.
And then
Yeah,
I
but
keep
accounting
telling
is like not, it's not engineering. It's not, the numbers aren't that
No, Jay.
complicated.
I know. I just told her, it's fine. I'm going to make a lot of money. I'll hire somebody. That's what I always told her. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
My accountant always tells me, she's like, look, I'm doing the work, but you need to sit next to me so you understand what is going on. You're supposed to understand what is happening to your money, where it's getting. Like once the people start questioning you, you're supposed to know. Oh no, that's there for a reason, because even your accountant is still human. So if they slip up, you should be able to be like, hey, yo, what's this? Why is that? Like,
I mean, accounting's important. Like your financial statements tell a
it's
story.
the most
you know?
important, I feel like, for
And
business.
I mean, I'm pretty good with like my money. I don't spend like crazy. I keep track of everything I spend. I email everything to my aunt, and on my laptop, I also have a folder of everything that's bought for the company, everything that's bought for the studio, how much did it cost. Every time I pay someone, I have like the person's name in the folder, how many times did I pay him, all the invoices there, and a screenshot of the payment. So I do keep track of everything. It's just fucking disorganized. So I still have the information, just don't, like, it's there. Go look for
Well,
it.
it's important. That's
Google
for sure.
Drive. Your best friend, trust me.
That's Tori's best friend. Tori's
Yeah, Google Drive
my
is the
girlfriend's
best
fucking,
friend.
If you, anybody on Excel, dude, animal. She's like, what?
Yeah, that usually helps women pick up men. Really good with Excel.
Hey, got me, bro. All right, got
She
me.
got you with the Microsoft
He's like,
Excel.
I am an animal in Microsoft. I'm like, girl, I'm hard. Let's just go right
Say
now.
no more, fam.
That's funny.
You got any more questions you want to ask?
I think that was like I think
I don't know. Did we even talk about real estate?
No, to be
Right?
To be
I'm
honest,
like-
like because I knew before we started recording, you said you wanted to get into coaching and stuff. Like you're into coaching. We just even knowing you personally, I never knew that about you. So I found that coaching part so interesting. I was like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I now kind of see you in a different light. Like I didn't know this
It's the
part of
lighting
you.
here. But no, listen, I appreciate that. And, I think we could, if we ever did this again, we could do one on real estate and
Yeah.
one on,
On life coaching and
on
everything.
life coaching. Yeah.
One that-
but
no,
like
go ahead.
sorry. Even like with that, like the real estate. So you were saying that you're an investor.
Yes.
So okay, tell me a little bit more on that. Like
Okay. So an investor is different than a real estate agent. A real estate agent, a lot of real estate agents don't know too much about real estate. They're basically just, I don't want to use this as a negative term. Like a car salesman is selling a car. Well, their commodity instead of a car is a house. So they make a commission, just like a car salesman make a commission selling a car, but they're not buying it and selling it and fixing it up and renting it out.
Yeah.
And, they're just the transaction person that says, hey, I got a good deal over here or this. So a lot of them, if I hire some or I work with some, I want them to be investors too, because they know what language I'm talking about. Because how I look at a deal is different than how you look at a deal, because you're looking at a deal to move into it. I'm not looking at a deal to move into it. I'm looking at a deal to make money with it. And I need somebody that's not going to be embarrassed when I tell them, like, yeah, they want 200,000, we're going to offer them 100. Some realtors, oh, I can't do that.
Yeah.
yeah. Damn.
You think it's a lot more chiller? It's a lot more chill to be an investor compared to real estate? Because my perspective is like an investor just here's the money, go do whatever needs to be done. Like so you just invest in do you pay someone, hey, we're building there's a big plot of land, there's gonna be 10 units, you wanna buy one, two or three, and then okay, here's money for 2 houses, and then go build it.
I'm not clear on the question.
Yeah, wait.
Neither
As an
am I.
investor, you're buying the whole land, right? I don't.
No, so it's like, so as a real estate agent, you go around, you find you're a sales rep as a real estate agent.
As a
Not
real
you, but
estate agent.
a person, yeah.
Yep.
He goes, finds a house, hey, I got a good deal for you. You're more like, oh, I want something that I can invest in so I can make passive income through like renting or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, what a real estate agent says is a good deal is all relative. I might not think it's a good deal. What is a good deal for somebody that wants to move in and have a family is a different deal for me. I want to buy it. Usually, I'm buying stuff, fixing it, and creating value, and that's what you get paid for. You're taking something that was not nice, making it nice, and
That's what I was about to ask. So
create
you're
value.
you're the flipper of some sort.
As an investor, I do everything. So I'm a flipper. I'm a landlord. I do, rental arbitrage, which I know nobody knows what
What is
that
that? I was
here.
about to ask.
So
What is
basically,
that?
you can make money on a house without owning the house.
Correct.
So, like rental arbitrage is I go rent the house. I'm in Aruba. People,
A lot of people
will
do
this.
it.
You go rent the house, and then you go rent it Airbnb. You rent the house for $2,000 a month, and then you go Airbnb it for $4,500.
Yeah.
And you make the difference minus your expenses.
Correct.
So that's called rental arbitrage. So you don't own the property, but you control the property. So you can control property without. That's just one way of doing it. Like some people think like when I said I have 1,200 properties, 200 of them I don't own, but I control them.
Yeah.
So there's so many things that you can do. So as an investor, basically I'm making money in real estate in many, many different ways. You can buy tax liens and do tax sales and sheriff sales and auctions and all that kind of stuff. I'm telling you, it's really
It's just
become
unlimited.
it's unlimited. It's unlimited.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. J gonna do it.
I did hear about this. So there's I heard about it like 4 or 5 years, or maybe almost 6 years ago. It was called Airbnb arbitrage.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You basically find, like he said, long-term rental. I'll rent it for 2 years for 2,000 florins. Here you go. I'll even pay you 6 months ahead, and then but apparently you have to get permission from the landlord. Hey, can I rent this on Airbnb? And then you probably rent it for $200 a night, and then that pays your monthly rent, and whatever you make on top of it, you get to keep. At least the renter of the long-term gets this money every single month, no matter what.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into it when I first heard about it, but same situation. Where do I start? No money, no nada. It's broke.
Yeah, but this is another misconception that you need money to do
You don't
real
need
estate.
Correct.
for that one.
Yeah.
Correct.
You don't need money to do real estate. You need knowledge.
Not anymore.
This is crazy. I love it. Okay, so what before you did coaching? What was the thing that you loved and hated the most about being an investor?
Oh man. So look, I love deals. Deals is like
80 a day? I can imagine. Of course,
well,
you
not
gotta
a
love
day,
that.
A month.
Yeah.
Damn, idiot.
Sorry.
Machine. Every minute.
It's just like when you when I was single and you're trying to find a girl, you're making a deal, man. You're trying to you're making a deal. You know, when you're married, that's the deal, man. The real estate is the deal. You're making a deal. You feel great about making a deal. The thing that sucks is people, man. Employees suck. And employees can mess up every business. That's why the world is going to digital and AI and VAs. Like, I have VAs, but now I'm like, how can I replace my VAs with AI?
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not saying that's great and all, but, people just mess everything up, So dealing with people, and I'm talking about people working for you because, you can tell them, it's like sometimes when, I don't know if you've ever had a ton of employees working for you, but, you hire somebody to do a job. Then you have to hire somebody to make sure that person does the job that you told them to do, which is just insane, So it's like you get these big expenses, and then they all are children, if one of my employees is having a fight with her husband, that's my problem. She doesn't have, or he doesn't have childcare that day, it's my problem. You know, so to answer, but I don't have any of those problems anymore. So, but I always told my wife, trust me, when we have kids, I'll be amazing because I have like 100 children right now. You know, in my company, and it's true. You know,
That's crazy.
yeah.
That expansion.
So how did it change for you? Like, since before getting kids, how were you like? What was your routine like before getting kids, and how's your routine now with kids?
That's a great question, man. First, you know, there's nothing more rewarding. You don't understand what it's like to have kids until you have kids. It's
What everybody tells me.
it's unbelievable. And you know, for me, I used to work Saturday mornings. I used to work like a half a day on a Saturday morning. And you know, once I started having kids, once I had kids, I said I'm not working all the week. Because I compartmentalize. I don't know how to say that word right, but you know, when you have little kids, you know, you get up, you got to get up early because they're like, you know, they're up. But you're on your phone and you're trying to do business, and then you got your kid there. So now you're not being present with your kid, and you're not doing a great job with your work. So you realize really quickly that when you're with your kids, you got to be with your kids.
You have to be, yeah.
And when you're with your work, you got to be with your work. You know, so I made it where like when I'm working, I'm working. And even my kids are older now, 7 and 5. They know when daddy's, occasionally they will come in on a Zoom and be like, yo, what's up? You know? But, you know, people like that a little bit, you know. But you
Here's
know,
the deal.
Hey, oh, take my money. There you go.
but generally, you know, they respect that I'm working. But when I'm not working, I'm 100% present with my kids. You know, but another thing I will add. So, you know, what changes is like you need to be like, when you work, your work. When you're with your kid, don't try to mix the two, because then you start fighting with your kids because of something that's going related to work, or vice versa. But I will tell you, as a husband, what happens is you neglect your wife.
Yep.
Because, you know, you go work, then you go
Just leaning like
kids, and, you know, so I committed, you know, I'm a 100% kind of guy. I'm going to give 100%, right? So if I'm going to give 100% to my work, then I wanted to give 100% to my kids. But I did notice that then I didn't have anything left in my cup for my wife. You know, so then I'm like, all right, well, I got it. So then you know, it's not so spontaneous when you're married anymore. It's like, listen, we got date night here where we're going to go out without the kids. We're going to do this, and you got to make time for your wife too.
Of course.
You know, but this was a issue I had in the beginning.
Balance.
You know, but listen, you need to have supportive other, you know, partners in your life, because if you're going to grow something, you know, it doesn't grow on 2 hours a day of work. You know, and it's travel, it's everything, man. If you're committed, if you're gonna be that guy, you need to put that all on the table, you know, and you need to be with somebody that supports that and sees the bigger pictures and with you with that, you know, because that can be an issue. But you know, that was
They need to understand what the right is.
yeah.
They have to understand what the right is, like the person. Like,
I got one more thing now you said that.
no, Giant.
One more.
Dude, go ahead, dude.
So, most important thing I'm gonna say. You have to make agreements with people, right?
Understanding.
You can't. There's a difference between expectations and agreements. We all have expectations of others, which is BS. Because I can't have an expectation of you if I never told you what my expectation is. But I have one, and you can never. If you do what I expected you to do, the best thing that's going to happen is, yeah, you did what I was supposed to do. But most likely, you're not going to do it. But it's not fair to you because I never made an agreement with you. So in life, especially with partners, you know, and business partners, family, you know, wives, you know, you have to make agreements. Like, hey, you know, this is what the deal's going to be. Do you agree? And when they agree, they're buying in on the other side too. They're committed to the agreement too. And now there's no confusion of the situation. But all the problems you have in relationships are because of expectations. And it's like, listen, as a man, I hear this all the time. Oh, you know, I wish my girl was like this and that. Well, did you ever tell your girl that?
Thank you.
Right? No. Well, how could she be that if you never told her that? And maybe she doesn't want to be that. So that's the other thing too. Like, listen, if you love somebody, you love their crap too. You know, so, you know, you have to accept that person you're with, make agreements with them. Don't have all these expectations that you will build up with resentment. And resentment is just you pissing on yourself.
Yep.
You know, because the only person you hurt with resentment is yourself. You're not hurting anybody else. So
Clear communication and healthy boundaries.
100%. I do
That's
agree.
it.
I do agree with that statement.
All right, so sorry if I messed up the real estate one.
No.
Listen, we're gonna. It's like what you said earlier. I think we're probably gonna end up having 2 more episodes with you.
Yeah, I'm happy
one
to
on
do it.
coaching, and one on real estate investing,
Yeah.
strategies.
We'll have to stick to the real
tips
estate.
and tricks, yada yada yada, all that good stuff.
Oh.
But Jay, I want to thank you for taking your time because I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
You probably got like another deal after this after this podcast.
Yeah, I got calls. I got calls to make. It's all
I
good.
saw you like on the phone.
Actually, my wife's at the gym. She's like, "You better."
Oh shit! What time is it?
Yeah, trust me, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I know. He's
I
like,
love you, baby. It's all good.
I was like, wait. He's like, we'll be done by 3, right? Like, yeah, for sure. It's 3:15. And she's like, where the fuck is this guy?
I'm sure.
Oh,
I'm so
shit.
sorry.
Oh
All
my
right.
God. Guys.
Yeah,
It's all good.
Yeah, it's all
Y'all
good.
don't, it's not all good. She's waiting.
I know.
She has
I
an
didn't,
understanding.
I didn't make an agreement with her.
Yeah,
I just see.
that's a good way to round it
Yeah.
up. All right, guys. Jay, where can people find you? It's your time. Plug yourself real quick.
He
The
doesn't
real
know.
estate doctor on Instagram with an underscore. So it's real estate doctor underscore.
Okay.
And I'm sure you'll put a little thing in majiggy.
Yeah.
Whatever they're called.
Thanks for making me work.
You know.
Right over here, guys.
Yeah. So
Anyways,
here,
let's
click the like button. Or something.
Hey,
I'm getting used to
subscribe.
these things. Or over here, wherever the hell it is.
Somebody-
You know?
somewhere.
Oh,
Also-
subscribe. Yeah.
Guys, don't forget, every single week we give away a 6-pack. Wait, it's somewhere. There it is. We give a 6-pack of Heineken Silver and a 6-pack of Desperados. All you need to do is very simple. Leave a comment down below. What did you learn today? What else do you want to know? What do you want to ask Jay in the next episodes? So leave a comment down below. Subscribe and like the video. Last week's winners are right here. Congratulations. If you won, DM us on No Filter in Paradise on Instagram. Say, hey, yo, we won. And then we'll figure out a way to meet so you can get your prize. And that's it, guys. Jay, thank you.
My pleasure.
And
Thanks,
guys,
This has been fun.
thank you.
Peace.
Oh,
That was
show.
dope.
Hey, we'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Peace.
Aw.
Awesome, man.
That was awesome.
Hey.
I really enjoyed it.